Hey Biotopers, so I'm back out in the workshop for this episode, and we are going to build the first double 75 rack for the gallery. So let me flip around here and show you what we're about to do.
All right, so here's our supplies. I've got 8 2x4x8s, and here's my screws. I've got 2.5-inch screws, number 9s. Those first are some exterior, these are interior, but should work just about the same. And of course you got a drill, tape measure. Here's the plans. You can see those are all the lengths. I'll list those here. That's what the stand will look like. So I need 8 of these 48 3/4 inch lengths. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, 6 of them. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the other 2 for the other level, which I need to go still get. So as you can see here, I've got some heavy weights just because the floor is level, but the wood, isn't always, picture perfect. So it's a little bit not exactly straight or a little twisted. So those will help keep it sitting nice and square. And I'm almost done putting this level together. I'm gonna put 2 braces here on this, and then the other, I'll do the same thing for the other level. This bottom piece doesn't need those because all that is gonna be is the kind of bottom. This will be just the bottom brace to keep all the legs straight and square. So I'm in the process of making these. I'll get these done, and then I'll get these lengths attached to this. I use some clamps, and I'll get you guys cut up here as soon as I'm at the next spot. Stay tuned. All right, folks, so here's what I got so far. This is the bottom base, and if you want to see another version of, or exactly where I got this build idea, look at Fish Nerd's YouTube channel. I'll put his video link here. And so this is the bottom base. This is going to be end up being the top level for the top tank. And here's the rest of my cut wood. Now I do need to get a couple more pieces of 2x4x8s, but what I've got 4 53-inch pieces. Those are going to be the 4 corners. I've got 4 40, or I need 6 48 3/4. That's going to be these lengths. I need 2 more boards. I've got 10 15 3/4, and I've got 4 18 3/4. All right, what's up, everybody? We're back here. I've got my 2 more pieces of 2x4x8s, so I'm gonna get those cut. Again, those are gonna be 40 3/4 because they're gonna be the side rails for what's gonna be in, probably the middle tier, the lower tier of the double 75. So get those cut. This old 55 stand, stay tuned for a future video on what we're gonna do with that. And let me just show you what we've got set up here. So we've got the 2, again, the base, and then this will be, probably the top rack here. And this is one of the uprights, and I've just got it clamped on there, and I'll make sure that that is level, left, right, side to side, up and down the whole way. There are some issues I'll show you guys, like, the wood isn't straight, and what happens is it gets twisted, and you get these like gaps. I put 3 2.5-inch screws to try to pull it in. I might try a little more. The other 3 corners are fine. And then on this one, again, you've got some like twisted wood, and I put 3 screws in there. This brace has got a gap. This brace has a gap. Again, I think it's because the side rail is bowed a little bit. This side has a little bit of gap, so it's not perfect. I'm showing you guys that it's not, oftentimes not gonna be perfect. I'm gonna try to set those on their sides and use my body weight and see if I can get it to pull together. they've been sitting with these, this 90 pounds of weights overnight. And this one's been 2 days with that 90 pounds. So that's definitely making it more level and straighten it out a little bit, but we'll see how it goes as we try to get these, again, I'm gonna get the other level here built, and then I'll put the 4 posts up, and that'll be kind of the next step. So I'll get you guys an update then. Stay tuned. All right, here we go. So the stand is completely assembled, and just to review, this is for a double 75, so 75 gallon up top, 75 gallon below. Most 75s are 48.5 inches long by 18.5 inches deep or wide. So these top lengths here are 48.75 by 18.75 here, front to back. Gives you a little bit of leeway. Again, I put some braces below just to add some extra reinforcement. So you can see from below, those go the whole length, and I did that on both levels there. And yeah, so what I did after I've assembled it, I just grabbed a sander and just sanded around all the screw holes on all sides, because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to fill those just with some wood filler, and that way when I paint it, it'll be nice and smooth, and you won't see the screw holes. So that's what I'm going to get ready to do now, is just fill those with the wood filler, let it dry, sand that down, and then we'll paint. So we'll keep getting you guys updates as we move through the different steps, but really excited about this. And again, shout out to the Fish Nerd for this build idea. It's a great plan. It saves a lot of room kind of side to side. It's only 3 inches wider total than the 75 gallon is. So you got 1.5 inches on this side and 1.5 inches on this side, and that's going to save you room if you're looking to save room side to side in your fish room, which I am. So, and again, this is the first of 3 of these that we're going to build for the gallery. So super excited, moving along, and we'll get ready to finish this up, and we'll get you updated after that. All right, here we go. So we are all filled up here with the wood filler, and you know, I use this interior filler. It's fine. You know, I've never had any issues using that. It's not like you're pouring, it's not in the rain, so it'll be fine. So I'm gonna sand this down. You can see the screw head holes, or you know, first you sink those in a little bit so it gives you more of a flat surface when you fill that in. So I'm gonna sand that down. I'm just using a kind of a multi-tool sander, but you can use any type of sand, you know, you can do by hand is fine. So anyway, we'll get that done and prep for paint. Stay tuned. Okay, here we go. So I have sanded it all down. You can see it's nice and smooth. You can't see the screw head marks. And again, this is just aesthetic. This is not something you need to do for the structure integrity of the rack or anything like that. It's just for looks. I only did this side and the front. I didn't do the back or this side. This side's gonna be against the wall, and obviously so will that back side. So I just did the front 2 sides that you'll see. So it's sanded. I wiped it down with a rag just to get all the dust and debris off of it. And then here's the paint we used. It's the same paint we used in our other rack. It's just a semi-gloss exterior paint and primer, and this is black. So you can use you know, any kind of exterior paint. I like the primer that's in there, and the semi-gloss gives it a nice finish. So I would use that exterior paint for your racks if you plan to paint them. Again, you don't have to, but I think it has a good look to it, and I think impacts the long-term wear. So
Anywho's, we're gonna get this thing on a drop cloth, and we'll get our coats of paint on there. Probably do 2 coats is what it usually takes. And we'll show you the rack when it's all done. Boom, it's done. Our first double 75 rack is in place, painted and leveled and all set. So let me take you through a few things now that the rack is in place. Number one, you'll notice I've got these tiles. These are just some leftover ceramic tiles that I had. Because this is a garage, the floor is sloped toward the door. So this edge of the fish room is higher a little bit than this edge. So it slopes a little bit just for water runoff. So what I had to do is put something on this front edge to kind of level that out. And I think with the weight of 2 75-gallon aquariums with full of water and substrate and everything else, that rack will settle. It's plenty strong. I got on top of it, and I'm 207 pounds, so it held me no problem. Obviously 275s will weigh a lot more than that, but just wanted to make sure. So I think that'll settle once the weight is in, and if not, then we'll make some adjustments. But these are just some essentially 12-inch or so ceramic tiles, and now we've got it all level and set. So this first, what I did, as you see, remember my water is right here. So the 3 inches of, these 2 2x4s wide is the exact amount in between those 2 spigots. I can still turn the spigots. It fits kind of right in there. You can see there's some space. So what I'll do is once I get my carbon block and all my water system, my fill system set, those obviously will stay there, and I'll kind of work that PVC around this first rack and all subsequent racks. But anyway, I made sure that this bottom edge was above the top of, you can see here, that spigot. So this is about 17 inches from the floor. And so the first aquarium will go here. At the top of the aquarium, 21 inches, leaves me about 9.25 inches from the top of the aquarium to kind of this bottom edge here. So plenty of space to get in and do work. This top edge is at 53 inches. So, what's that, 21, that's 74 inches. So I can, no problem, I can get up into that and into the aquarium on top. My drain lines are here. So one of those inlets will be for one tank and the other one will be for the other tank. And I'll have the overflows drilled in there. So that'll be my drain system. And then obviously we'll get our water fill system in later. So that's the first rack. Super excited, happy about it. My only trepidation, 2 things, is just the level and stability with having those ceramic tiles underneath. It'll be waterproof. I didn't necessarily want to put wood under there if I didn't have to, just because that could rot. So ceramic won't rot. Maybe it'll crack. We'll see once we get some weight in there. And then just having to orchestrate our fill lines in around this first rack. Probably connect these 2 spigots, because we'll set the temperature right there into the carbon block, and that'll kind of work in this general area. Because we'll have another rack right here, another exact replica of this rack right here. So it'll kind of, my fill system will work here and then spread out through the fish room. So we're excited. you know, the next steps, we're really starting to get far along in this fish room. So stay tuned with us and join us along for the ride. All right, that's gonna do it for this episode, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. We've got our first double 75 rack built and in place. The next steps in the fish build are two. One, empty my 75 gallon from inside the house, which you guys haven't even seen yet. That's fully set up. Empty that, transfer fish, drill the tank, install overflows, all of that, and start working on this fill system for the fish room. So, not sure what I'm gonna do next. I'll probably get the tank in place and get the overflows and the drainage set for that. That way I know exactly where to run my fill system. All of my 75s will be in the same level, just different places in the room. And I'll connect those and our rack of 6 20-gallon tanks all on the same fill system. So thank you so much. Please, if you like stuff like this, if you want to stay tuned with how this entire room has gone from start to finish, please subscribe, check out all the playlists. I've got the whole thing when this was not even an enclosed room. So we've done everything. So please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and make sure you get notified when I upload new videos. And really appreciate you joining us for the build and for this incredible ride in building this fish room. Thanks so much, everybody. See you next time. All right, Biotopers, big update here. So, as I said earlier, I just did not like those tiles there. It wasn't really stable, and the more I thought about it, the more research I did, I saw a couple of videos out there that you were using the shims, composite shims. So I took those tiles out. Now, just so you can see how off we are. So front to back, you know, we're not quite level. So we need to bring this front end up. So what I did is I ran out, sorry for the mess here in the fish room, it's a work in progress, as you know. I ran out and I got these from Lowe's. These are composite shims, so they don't rot, warp, swell, crack. So instead of just using a wood shim, I think this is gonna be way better. So we're gonna open these up and shim this tank to level, and it should be a lot better off. All right, Biotopers, so we are all leveled out. Let me show you how I did this. So I've got some shims here, and I've got a couple shims here, and a small shim on that back side. The bigger issue level, remember, for us was front to back, and now we are, I'll show you this. We are level front to back. So way better off. Love the composite shim. Great idea, great find. This is what they look like. And you know, you should know how to use a shim, and they just, you know, you just get in there and then just snap it off. These composites take a little bit of work to snap. They're somewhat like flexible. So they take a little bit of work to snap and kind of rip off, but it's gonna be great. Won't rot it off, water gets on the floor, and now we are set. So again, next thing to do is get our first 75-gallon tank in here, get that drilled, overflowed, and then we'll get our fill system going there too. So again, thanks so much. Sorry for that little last minute update. Oh, one other thing, I had a subscriber request. Remember a couple of videos ago, we had that leak in this PVC. Well, for some reason it stopped. I mean, it's perfectly dry. Let's see if I can get back in there, but there's no water. Oh, sorry for all the cords here. Get this cleaned up here soon. But that
that PVC is not dripping any longer. So not sure what happened or why it was, but we are completely dry back there. So glad that resolved itself. Anyway, thanks so much everybody, and be sure to tune in next time. We'll see you soon.